Good morning, everyone. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nano, and I hope you could feel the extension and the excitement in our voices today because we have one fantastic day of racing.
It's a lot of excitement, Ron. I feel like this is, we had our championship meet opened on Monday, but this is front and center today. This is why we love Gulfstream Park, these Saturdays in the winter, and this kicks it off. Pegasus Preview Day. Obviously, we're going to run the big race on January 28th. And you're going to see a lot of big contenders for that entire card, really, today with 6 stakes, 5 of them graded.
Yeah, 5 graded stakes. Can't wait for that action. Now, real quickly, before that, we've got something else going on today, and that is Beat the Expert. It starts today. You got to get your selections in. You go to the Gulfstream Park website. You click on the contest. You got to pick more winners and we a chance to win one of those ultra cool polo shirts that you could see on the arm right there, that handsome guy. It says Beat the Expert. So that is fun to play. It's each and every week. Every week, a different one of us is up there in the hot seat. Just wanted to let you know about that. The Rainbow Six, $350,000 gross jackpot guarantee. That'll kick off in race number 6 this afternoon. And it's just a little bit of what we got going on here this afternoon. So just touching on that.
No doubt about it. It is getting big. There were singles live yesterday, or the day before, I should say. It's going to be a huge pool today. I would think maybe $500,000 might be on the line. We've got the early pick 5. We can bring up my ticket now. It's going to be a huge pool. They've been so big with these early and the late pick 5s for that matter. $27 for me. I know there's going to be a heavy favorite in the opener. We'll talk about it in a second. 3 deep. We've got the other thing I wanted to talk about, Ron, too, and I know you know this. We have 2 absolutely awesome maiden special weight 2-year-old races on horses that we're no doubt going to see down the path to the Florida Derby. Kentucky Joker on top for me in race 2. Down inside to Joyful Cadence with a little bit of an upset for Johnny Ortiz in race 3. Here's the single. My best bet of the day is Classic Lady for Team Clement in race 4. And then 78 is the order. Can't wait to see Expect More, who was absolutely... Ronnie, for a horse that was beaten 13.5 lengths on debut, you'll never see a better race.
Yeah, you got beat by that international good thing in the Arabian Nights, so we'll see how that plays out. But let's get to the first. A mile of 16th on the turf. Claimers 3 or 4 and up, non-winners of 3 in life or a race since June 30th, 20 down to 16. Scratch the 8 and all the also eligible entries. I started it off here with the number 6, Grape Nuts Warriors, debuting locally against 20 condition claimers after a couple of solid turf outings against those New York State bred 45 optional claimers, going a mile in the 16th. Up at Aqueduct, found a stat on Chad Brown. 3rd after the layoff. Roots on the turf, which this horse is doing today. He's 25%, 65% in the money, and 197. That's a good stat there, Tito.
Yeah, this horse is going to take all the beating. Let's be honest. He's 4 to 5 right now. Very, very early in the betting. He's just going to be a huge underlay, and you worry about, the class droppers. He's in for 20. We've talked about it a lot. Obviously he's been in such good form for Chad up at New York. He is a state bred. He's facing open waters today, clearly. But, no doubt, and wouldn't be surprised to see him at odds on by post time.
Yeah, walk-up music. He went there stretching out to the 8.5 furlongs, returned locally. Chased the pace, finished 4th behind that horse. That was impressive. Mohawk.
Yeah, Mohawk's streaking right now. He wired again, and he really, really was good doing it. Walk-up music needed the tightener last time. Look at that. Off a long, that's almost a 1.5-year layoff. Well, he didn't run poorly at all, chasing Mohawk early. Now we're second off. We've got Paco Lopez aboard here as well as he's back. We've got some speed at his disposal, too. Just maybe we improve, and maybe Grape Nuts Warrior comes back a little bit.
Just to touch on a telephone talker briefly, 2 for 3 at this distance on the turf. Returns to the grass today. Rallied to finish that well-man 3rd against Simla, going around 2 turns on the Tapeta. Safi, Tyler, I think you got to look at that horse. Let's go to race number 2 this afternoon. And this one is going to be 7 furlongs, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds. And this is a really nice race. It's going to have 8 in it. And I know you want to show the video of Kentucky Joker.
Yeah, we want to show Samantha's early pick 4 ticket
no, that's
first.
right.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look at that first, actually. Whoa, $1.50.
I like it. I like it. $1.50 Case. This is an easy one to talk about as well. Case is singled in race 4. Frank's Rocket, very logical. The little bit of a spread in race number 4, and then another single, and she's on it too. Expect More, $1.50. I like these condensed tickets, Ronnie. You can pop it 3 or 4 times. You will not see Samantha up here with us today. She'll be in the paddock and out on the turf and out on the track all day long.
Yeah, these maiden special weights. Now we'll show the video of Kentucky Joker right if they put the quarter-mile split up.
Yeah, so here we go. Okay, he's down inside. You can't really pick out the Calumet colors, but that's him, and he's going to draft up here, and then he's going to get all the way. He was up in amongst these leaders early. He gets shuffled all the way back. And then he's going to thread through eventually, entering the far turn. This is actually a horse, and you're not going to believe it right now. He's going to finish second in this race. He's going to be beaten a length and a half. He was 34-1 this day. Now, Dale Romans is not a guy that's going to crank him up. Watch him sift through runners here, Ron. And again, he's going to get second. I promise you he is. I thought this was a really encouraging effort. And the other thing I like about him, thank you, Bob, good stuff. Now he's tipping out, and here he starts rolling a little bit. The other thing I like about him too, we're going to talk about some firsters in here that have a license to be real runners. Well, Kentucky Joker's got experience, and I know in this regard I can speak for you. Debuting at 7 furlongs is not easy.
Yeah, and Del Roman reunites that freshman with Martin Garcia, the horse, the jockey that was on there. What about Case, the one that Samantha single is a $375,000 son of Sky Mesa, debuting for trainer Jonathan Thomas. You know, Jonathan, he's 26 with first-time starters. You're getting Jose Ortiz. It just looked like it was a logical horse to put in the ticket, and I know you use this horse too.
Yeah, bold single, that's for sure. And like I said, Samantha will be in the paddock for this race. We'll get some insight from her. Works are okay and nothing over the top. The dam was 5 for 22. It took her 6 starts. They did pay a lot of money for a Sky Mesa. She's a half. This one's a half to Bossy Moment, earned over $300,000.
And if you're a Ranger fan, I believe, you know about Shesterkin. I think he plays for the Rangers. If you're a hockey geek, and this is a $330,000 son of violence, debuting for Todd.
Yeah, Irad's here. Todd is here. The dam 6 for 14. She won a grade 3 going long. Heard this horse can run a little bit.
Our first graded stakes of the day will be in race number 3. It's 6 furlongs. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. 125,000 with grade 3 Sugar Swirl. We did have an early scratch of the 2 My Destiny, and I did go with the number 4 Frank's Rocket, who's turning back to 3/4 of a mile. Returned from the layoff, just failed to fire in the 7 furlong grade 1 Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Bill Mott has multiple graded stakes mare training sharply up at Payson Park. I think you put a line through that race, and the level here is nothing like that day with grade 1 events.
No, if she runs a race, they can't beat her. It's point. That's a statement of fact. Now, the question is, I mean, don't forget, she was 9-1 in the Breeders' Cup. She was supposed to run a little bit. She didn't run at all. It's obviously what I'm assuming is the start, even though it's the end of the year, it's the start of what they hope is another big campaign for this daughter of Into Mischief. We'll see what we get today, but obviously she is much the horse to beat.
You did go with Joyful Cadence on top, who's going to break from the rail.
I took a shot, that's all, because let's say Capella and Frank's Rocket hook up in this spot, and Joyful Cadence was behind Frank's Capella last time at Churchill, but I think she's on the improve for John Ortiz. She kind of answered the bell a little bit last time. Yeah, she's got to improve again. She's going to be a nice price. Maybe she trips out. I'm just kind of a little against Frank's Rocket.
And we just touched on Capella, like debut locally, pair of really impressive victories at the distance, includes that open lens score in the $300,000 Dream Supreme Stakes. Phil Bauer and Martin Garcia going for the hat trick with this horse. So, horse I think you got to have on a ticket. If Frank's Rocket is not up to the game, these two are the logical ones to grab it. Let's go to race number 4 this afternoon. And this one is 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf, claiming fillies 3-year-olds 4 and up, non-winners of 3 in life, or a race since June 30th, 35,000. Scratch the number 10, Sandpiper Memories. And we both had the number 3, Classic Lady, on top, who makes her local return.
Yeah, this is my best bet of the day in here, and she just seems better than this field to me. She's drawn perfectly. She's tactical enough where you're not going to drop too far out of it. I think we all agree you want to be close on this turf course. She added Lasix back on last time. She gets it again today. She ran an 8 last time. No one in here, I think, is running an 8 on the thoroughgrass. Just looks much the best to me.
Oh, buddy, looking like a queen is stretching out to the mile and 16. Rally between horses. Finished third against those state-bred optional claimers going a mile on the local turf for Monica McGoey. Jose Ortiz atop. Hard-knocking 7-time winner. This turf winner, I should say.
She's 6 for 33 on our turf course. That's pretty cool to see. Monica got a W the other day. Well done there. So, yeah, she's not impossible from down inside. You get a big jock, too.
Yeah. Race number 5 this afternoon is going to be a 1 mile and 1/16 maiden special weight 2-year-olds. And Brian, Take it over with Expect More.
Wow, this is that race at Keeneland, right? That was won by Arabian Night, who's, you know, probably, if you look at the future books now, he's probably right there with Forte as a favorite for next year's Kentucky Derby. He was like the third or fifth fastest two-year-old race. Here's the 10 now breaking there. He's nowhere. He's actually going to go out of your picture here. And this was, I think, the fifth fastest 7-furlong race since Keeneland put the dirt back in or something like that. Determinedly comes back to win for Cassie. Runs second at a Fairground Stakes. Expect More is not in your picture right now. And here, look at this move. Now, he's going to be beaten over 10 lengths. That's because the winner is an absolute superstar. Watch this power move, Ronnie. Entering the far turn before predictably flattening out a little bit. This horse has a world of talent. If he breaks with the field today, they're going to have a real problem today. You can't see him anymore because obviously Arabian Night is now kicking in and kicking clear. Determinedly, as I mentioned, who runs second, wins next out with a big number, second in a stakes at Fairgrounds. Expect More, still rolling through the lane there. What an effort. You won't see a better third on debut when you're beating double digits.
A couple of the horses in this race here tried to get cute with the number 8, Hung Frau, who's turning back to the mile in the 16th, returned from a layup at Aqueduct, finished that stalk the pace in weekend 4th. I thought it was going to help this horse. It was a stamina tweaking affair, going 9. Bill Mott, Jose Ortiz atop, the Judge Mont, homebred son of Arrogate.
Yeah, and Baby Billy's out of here, so
Yeah.
it helps the favorites even that much more. And I agree, this is the next one.
Yeah, Baby Billy scratched out of that just in case. But Pete's going to tell you all the scratches and changes when we get them. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we keep rolling along with my Rainbow Six ticket.
This is a championship meet. Yeah. All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
Yeah.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history. And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian. Our sixth race this afternoon is going to be the 43rd running of the Rampart 1 mile. Fillies and Mastery up $125,000. Quickly go to my Rainbow Six ticket this afternoon. And Mary, quite contrary, the number 7 is my best bet. We'll talk about that. Usually a 4-2 in there. A big scratch in there, which we'll tell you about when we talk about the race. Long shot today comes in race number 7. It's the 2. Diamond Wow, 20-1 on the line. Watch this horse close with Joel Rosario. Got some coverage in the Mr. Prospector. The top pick is Sibelius, the number 3. In the Fort Lauderdale, Kernam Liam. I use City Man just for a little backup. O'Connor's going to be a lot of people single in there. I use South Bend. And in the last, I think the one to beat is Market Segmentation, and that one from the Chad Brown Braun, but I also use Mosaic and Insatiable. So for me, 57.60, I'm stepping it up. We got 350. Let it roll. Sixth race today. You knew I was going to pick Mary quite contrary.
That's your gal. And
That's
why wouldn't you pick her, though, to be fair? I mean,
Yeah.
boy, she's really impressive. She's cool. She's easy to root for, too.
Yeah, she's stretching out to the one-turn mile for the first time. That's it. After an impressive sprint campaign, includes a victory. Now, that victory was without Lasix, which we'll be running today, and that was in the $65,000 sheer drama stakes. Joe Catanese reunites this daughter first with Luca Panici. Luca handles this horse perfectly.
You know, we've talked about Mary Quay Contrary a lot, and every time we say, well, everything they've asked her to do, she's done. She's beaten 3-year-old stakes runners. She's beaten Florida. She's beaten 3-year-old stakes runners. She's beaten older Florida breds. Now, last time she beat open stakes runners. This is a graded quality field today. You bet against her at her own apparel. Joe Cantonese has done such a good job with her. She's easy to root for, too.
Yeah, you went to the outside horse, and that is the number 8 Music City Star on top. Safi Joseph Jr. Jose Ortiz going to handle the outside draw. Oh, the big scratch in there was the number 1 Elio Gami. I forgot. That was right before we came on the air. I was all 7-1. Telling you that's what I was in the race before the scratch.
I was 8-1. Music City Star is my long shot play of the day. Now we lose a little value because, as you mentioned, the 1 is out. She still has to be a decent price. She hasn't done any running of late. You got to dig a little bit. Look at her races here at Gulfstream Park last year for Chris Davis, who did a really good job with her. Those are races that put her in the mix here. Safi Joseph Jr., I know, back in the day, maybe he cut his teeth. He's not really claiming horses anymore. Well, he claimed her in October. He's going to freshen her up. He's going to run her in this spot. She's drawn perfectly. There's no world beaters in here, Ronnie. Let's take a shot at a price at a horse that I think likes it a lot here.
Yeah, so we'll see how that runs in Colorful Mischief. Is it try a 1-turn mile? Went to the sidelines after coming up empty in the Grade 2 Raven run at Keeneland. It's Todd. It's a rad. This one's going to run.
I agree. I mean, you just got to get past that last race, which was not pretty.
The 7th race this afternoon is 1 mile on the turf, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, $125,000. Scratch the number 9 Touch of Class. Samantha put a late pick 5 ticket together. We'll go take a check at that. Oh, she went all the way up to $10 for this one, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a little bit of a spread race. She's got a single in here, and she would know Prevalence, that's for sure. He's a horse I always play against, and he usually beats me when I do. Obviously, the Colonel Liam single in there. O'Connor and Pioneer Medina, replays on both of them. All ball in the finale. I get what she's doing here because I did not pick market segmentation either. If you're going to try to beat her, I think today is the day on a filly for Chad Brown with a world of potential.
The number 2, Diamond Wow, is my long shot play of the day, 20-1. This one is Grade 2 stakes placed on the grass, looking to go back to the turf today and sit that ideal stalking trip behind what I see as a spirited duel. This horse's performance in the Jessamine Stakes from an outside post, going back up Keeneland in 2021. This horse is doing well. Patrick Biancone reaches out for Joel Rosario, the best finisher in my estimation in the game. This one's going to be running late at a price. I don't know what I'll get, but I'm telling you, do not sleep on Diamond Wow.
No, you got to be in the teens here at the very least. The scratch doesn't take really any starch out of the betting. So you hit on it with the pace. I don't think it's going to be slow. That's for sure. There's some hitting in here. She's got to improve, but I think it's very significant what you mentioned. Joel Rosario is here.
Yeah. You went with the number 7, Stolen Holiday, who won the Grade 3 Eaton at the Monmouth this summer, returns locally, coming off the bench and ran at Keeneland 4th in that Fall Harvest Stakes.
You mentioned the pace, and Bay Storm is going. Scottish Scar is on the rails. She might have to go in some way, shape, or form. I feel like Stolen Holiday sits the right kind of trip in here. She's got to answer the bell a little bit, but I thought she came out of a good race at Keeneland. The winner that day, we know Wakanaka. She ran in the Pegasus, filly and mare turf this year. I like the trip Stolen Holiday's pulling.
What'd you see with Bay Storm?
Well, take a look at this replay here with Bay Storm. This is a game effort. Chasing 44-3. This is down the hill here, not at Santa Anita. This is down the hill at Kentucky Downs. You can kind of see it there. And she's on the hard chase the entire way. The horse to her outside is going to win. And everybody knows Campanella, who's a superstar for Wesley Ward and Stone Street. But I thought Bay Storm, Ronnie, was huge. She did not want to give it up after you thought she was going to be passed. We've got this like quadruple angle stretch run coming up here at Kentucky Downs. And you would have kind of thought she was going to come out of it a little bit when Campanella ranged up and she was on the inside chase at 21-2 and 44-3, and she did not want to give it up. I promise you this is the same race, by the way. I just keep adjusting. Yeah. But I thought this was a big effort. Now, with that being said, Ron, look at her even trying to come back a little bit here. This is heady stuff. Now,
is this the finish now?
That's the finish. Yeah. That's the finish right there. 2 turns today. That's a whole different kettle of fish. She's unproven at the trip. I'd have to think Jose Ortiz is aggressive here. Tries to steal this.
Let me show you stat with the trainer, Jonathan Thomas. Sprint to route on the turf, 12 for 39, 31%, 62% in the money. 158 is the return investment, so the stat to back that up. So pretty nice performance. Let's go to race number 8 this afternoon. This is the 68th running of the Mr. Prospector. It's a grade 3, $125,000. And surprising scratch this morning of the number 4, Papa Cap.
Yeah, it was. He was a major player. It was exciting to see him come back. Well, he's still 3, but tomorrow he'll be 4. We'll see him in the future, I'm sure. This kicks off the late pick 4 as well. Take a look at my ticket. It's you don't have to spend too much here. This is the spread race to me, Ron. I think if you're looking for value on this card in these late sequences, this is it. We'll get to it. I'm not trying to beat Colonel Liam. I understand some people might. I will not. I'm not trying to beat O'Connor either. I know some people might. I will not. But I will. I lost my top pick in the last race, okay? So I did scratch in to the 11. That's market segmentation. It'll be a very, very, very short price. But I'm also going to use Mose, who I think you like a little bit too.
Yeah, we're going to stat on that horse too in there. So very nice ticket. Getting back to the Mr. Prospector with the scratch of 4, Papa Cap. Sibelius, who was so impressive, winning the $100,000 light diffuse at Pimlico back in September, stretching out to 7/8 today. Just got nailed at the wire in the 6 furlong Bet or Sunshine at Churchill Downs last time out. Previous winner at the distance. You know I like that. Junior Alvarado. I like about this horse, Brian, push button speed.
Did you have Papa Cap? I had him in second.
No, I didn't have it. Okay. I had 4th.
Okay.
And I did not use him.
The good thing, if there's a good thing about Papa Cap scratching, it doesn't affect the body of the race and that he wasn't going to be part of the pace. Sibelius is fast. Jerry O'Dwyer's done a good job with him. He's going to take a lot of pressure down inside, but I do think he's a very, very dangerous horse, Ron.
And Steel Sunshine, who you have on top, was really sharp, winning the 7 furlong carry back here in July.
I'm stabbing, okay? He's not good enough to win this race, but sometimes the pace elevates horses with his running style. Bobby DeBona's going good guns right now. Lionel is here. We like that. They put Lionel Reyes and Bobby together. In the pace makes the race. I just saw so much of it here. Maybe, like he's done before here at Gulfstream Park, going 7 furlongs, maybe Steel Sunshine loops them all.
The number 8, Uncle Ernie, a 2-time winner at the distance, stretches out after a pair of monster optional claiming victories going 6 furlongs at Park. John Service has Rad Ortiz Jr. atop this gelding. He knows how to win at 7 furlongs. He's been in great form. You're getting a great rider. You're getting a fantastic trainer. Uncle Ernie's got to be on my ticket somewhere.
It wouldn't shock me if Uncle Ernie's favored in here, and maybe decisively so. Ron, he ran a -4 on the Thoroughgrass last time. He gets the acid test today. I understand that. He's drawn well. Who's riding? Irad. They might send it in on this horse. I'm going to make him prove it, but it wouldn't shock me if he did.
Race number 8 this afternoon, the feature of the feature races today. It's 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf, 3-year-olds and up. It is the $200,000 grade to the Fort Lauderdale, and of course the return of Colonel Liam, stepping stone for the Pegasus turf, number 3.
Yeah, I think it's first and foremost, it's so cool that the connections have brought him back for what will be a 6-year-old campaign. Don't forget now, he won the Pegasus last year without a prep. That's pretty scary today. I understand he probably needs a race. I understand Todd Pletcher probably doesn't have him cranked. I understand he's drawing from the parking lot. Beating this horse to me is not for me. The other thing is too, and if you're not going to pick him, who are you going to pick? You can pick 8 horses. You might not have the winner.
Yeah, I spoke to the jock yesterday, Rad Ortiz Jr., and he said, look, it doesn't matter what post he's in. If he runs his race, I asked him about Dubai. Well, you'll see it a little later on. He thinks this turf course is going to be key for him, and he said if he runs, doesn't matter where he starts from, just pointing out. Let's show you a stat on Todd Pletcher. First after 180-plus day layoff, route turfs right here at Gulfstream Park. 8 for 31, 26%. 52% in the money, 206 positive return of investment. So I think that's a good number to look at when you're thinking about Colonel Liam. And that he missed that. They couldn't get him off the also eligible list that day. It rained anyway. But I think this is a perfect setup for him.
I'm excited to see him. I remember you and I looking over our shoulder last year, and he looked like an absolute tank schooling in the paddock.
City Man is where it went in second. Is a classy New York bred son of Mucho Macho Man. He's stretching out to 9 furlongs again. He ended his fall campaign on the high note when he won both the Mohawk and the A.T. Cole, those New York bred stakes at Aqueduct. Christophe Clement, Joel Rosario. Just thought this horse, at current form, you got to give him a look.
Giving 3 pounds to Colonel Liam. How about that? Under the conditions of the race, that's just food for thought. I think he's a huge threat in here. If it's not Colonel Liam, he's on the short list.
Well, what about Street Ready, real quickly, as we go through? These are races, nice races.
You know, he's drawn perfectly. He's got speed. He doesn't need to lead, and I think he's never been better for Ian Wilkes, who's a patient guy. The fact he's going to run him in this spot, he knew probably Colonel Liam's going to pop in here. He's very good right now, and he's going to be a really big price.
Race number 10 this afternoon, 1 mile, 116, 3-year-olds and up. It is the $150,000 Harlan's Holiday. Just remind you, in the 9th race, that 2-scratch Marwad, 13 is going to draw in, so when you're handicapped. But Pete will tell you all that. Just want to point that out. O'Connor, I know you've been liking this horse from the get-go.
Well, let's just take a look at the video, and you'll just see what's easy to like about this horse. I mean, this is his U.S. debut here. He's on the outside, and this is like absolute domination. He's in the red cap, about 5-6 deep there, and you can kind of get the idea of where he is. Now he's going to come into your picture here. This was his first start for Saffie Joseph Jr. It's his first start in the United States. And, you know, I understand this is a much tougher. Watch this tour de force here, Ronnie. This was awesome. He runs a huge figure. The other thing that I do think is significant in for today, too, this is also one of those short finish line races that Dennis loves so much. I mean, he's proven at this trip, too, Ron. And I think that's significant because there's some Skippy Longstockings. There's some Pioneer Medinas here that might need to get gearing up. And you're going to wake up off that far turn, and it's stretch time.
And, you know, this horse, too, is going to be so much better the longer he goes. I don't think there'll be a problem with the mile and the 16th. You want to play devil's advocate. He has to break from the rail, you know, go the mile and the 16th with the short finish line. But I just think this horse had the tractability to be where he wants. And you can just see he just draws up wins for fun. They were very high on this horse. They brought him in. You never know what you're going to get with these shippers from South America or anywhere when they come. And he was just, you know, a sight to be seen. And, of course, he stamps his ticket into the Pegasus World Cup if he runs well today. The 5 South Bend, second at this distance in the Grade 3 Harlan's Holiday, and that was last year. Stretches out. Trio of in-the-money finishes against allowance-level competition going shorter. Bilmont, Joel Rosario, atop the son of Algorithms.
No, he's fine. He never, ever wins, but he usually gets a piece, and he'll probably do so again today. Stretches back out. I know you see the one-turn races of late. He's got plenty of proven two-turn form.
Then number 7, Skippy Longstocking, who was impressive winning that 9-furlong Grade 3 Virginia Derby. That was in the slot, but...
Yeah, I just feel like today it's not a good spot for him. It's a short finish line. He's a grinder. He's a galloper. We saw him run so well in the Belmont Stakes. I feel like the Pegasus, which is obviously the goal, I feel like that might be his race.
Yeah, you know, he's no match for Superstar Tabby in the Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby, but it's Saffie, it's a rad, you know, classy sophomore. We'll see how that one runs. Our final, wait, do we have another video?
Yeah, we can show the video.
Yeah,
we got a second. Yeah. Let's show the video of Pioneer Medina, who's the 2-horse today. This is at Churchill. Watch him blow the brake here down at Churchill in this short field. He's going to just basically walk out of the starting gate. So I don't feel like he's going to be that far behind with an alert beginning today. And then we'll kind of fast forward here as he spots this 5-horse field. Plenty of ground. But I thought this was a pretty good effort, Ron, to run him down. The other reason I thought it was a good effort, too, you look at his previous 2 races. I mean, he was abysmal for Todd Pletcher, and I just wonder if maybe Todd's got him figured out now. Maybe if he's got him going the right way, you're going to see him gut it out. You're going to see him grind them down here. He ran a 3 that day. The buyer was 92. You know, he's a horse with prior good races, and maybe now he's getting back to them. I think it's confident Todd runs him in this spot, Ron, and he's all game here. So, you know, maybe he's stepping up. Let's break with the field today. I'm looking for a price underneath, some value underneath.
Yeah, why not? It's good when you show the video like that. Ran it pretty good. Yeah, and it's hot. You can never leave Todd out of anything, especially when we get to this graded stakes portion of the year here at Gulfstream Park. The last race today, mile and the 16th on the turf. Allowance, optional claimers, fillies and mares 3 and up, or the optional tag of $25,000. Scratch to 4. Charge account, was that your top pick in the race?
Yeah, that was my top pick, so I'm into the favorite.
Yeah, so market segmentations, the daughter of American Pharaoh, debuting locally after finishing second, beaten the neck by that next out stakes winner, Shalimar, in an allowance race at Aqueduct. Chad Brown, Areta Jr. atop, handling the outside post this afternoon. Got that little bit of scratch and inside the one scratch charge account. I think this is the one to beat. You mentioned that you put him a little further. No, you had him on top. You scratched it.
Yeah.
The number 9, Mosaic, stepping up and stretching out today for Millie Mott.
You got a stat, right? I mean, this horse hasn't run, broke the maiden, off the layoff at Aqueduct in November, and I know you pulled something on this horse.
Maiden winner last out on the turf right here at Gulfstream Park. He's 5 for 18, 28%, 50% the money. 308 is the return of investment. That is a good stat, and I think these are the logical two. Maybe you use Insatiable, hoping to save more for the stretch drive. It's Pletcher, it's Luis Saez.
Yeah, I think we're back to Mosaic for just for a quick second. Maybe Bill Mott, a Hall of Fame trainer and as good a horseman as we've seen in 30 years, maybe he's got her figured out. It took her 9 starts to break her maiden, but she did it the right way last time. And I just wonder if she's got another move forward in her.
Well, how many times do we see a horse once they figure it out, they put together 2, 3, 4.
The old light bulb.
The old light bulb goes on, right. So that's that. We see the 11 races, but not done. We got a pretty nice lightning round we want to show you. And one of them is just want to give a congratulations to a really good trainer that we know from our sister tracks up in Maryland, Dan Capuano, distinguished 41 training career in Maryland.
I think this is pretty cool, too, because, we don't hear about retirement a lot with trainers, and he's going to go out on a high. Congratulations. This is, even back in the day when I was nowhere working in racing, just seeing the Capuano name in the form, you better perk up a little bit.
Yeah, I think they sort of think he won $1 million in the last 15 years, at least every year. I mean, he just ran that circuit up there, and a heck of a nice guy. What was your best bet today?
Early on the turf for Christophe Clement with, Classic Lady in race 3.
You knew where I was going with my best bet today, and that is Mary Quite Contrary in race number 6. Long shot for you today?
Yeah, it's in the stakes. Actually, it's in that race. Now, the scratch is going to hurt me a little bit, but it's Music City Star on the outside.
And I'm going with Diamond Wow, 20-1 on the line in race number 7, Joel Rosero. I think that horse is going to sit a nice trip. We told you at the top. We'll tell you once again. Beat the Expert starts in just about 24 minutes. You got to get your picks in. I am in the hot seat today, and we'll start it off. And of course, each and every week, you try and be one of us up here, and it's a fun thing. You get a chance to win a cool polo shirt. Very, very popular, and you get the bragging rights. You can come up and tell Brian. Yeah, you can tell him if you beat him, because they probably won't beat me. I'm joking. I always get beat in that house.
That was a mug that's throwing out 6 winners right there. I said that. We love giving those polos away. So
tomorrow we got 3 stakes tomorrow. So Limehouse, boys, is an impressive horse in there. Super Chow, ridden by Chantal Sutherland, goes for 3 in a row in the Limehouse. Let's go back and show you this horse's race at Keeneland back on October 29th. This was a tour de force to win the Bowman Mill by open lengths, and that was a $200,000 race.
Leah Farms and Chantal there, and teamer with Jorge Delgado. This horse has been a lot of frequent flyer miles for this horse. He's been everywhere. Now he's back home here. 3 stakes for the newly minted 3-year-olds. We can never talk too early about the path to the Florida Derby.
Yep, so that's how we see everything here. We're turning it over to Pete. I'll give you all the scratches, jockey changes, and Brian and I will be right back here with Samantha, with Claudia. We got a full field covered today, each and every way.
Looking forward to it. It's championship meet time. Best of luck.
We're ready for the start. They're off.